What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Automation. So today we're building a Group B rally car. Now, there's a lot of you that have been requesting this, so I'm gonna do my best here. I'm not really used to building cars with, specific requirements, so I'm gonna do my best here. I have the list of class regulations and things that I'm gonna try and abide by the best that I possibly can. So we'll see how it goes. So first off, I'm kind of torn. I like this kind of sedan look right here. I'm also kind of liking this. Like, I'm not opposed to going to an older body style, but not really what I'm looking for. All right, we're gonna go with this one, I think. Okay, so I'm thinking we're gonna go aluminum space frame, and then we'll just go steel, longitudinal. Now here's where I could go very, very wrong very quickly. See, I'm stuck between wanting to keep the weight down as far as I possibly can, and all right, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I don't know. I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe a coil in the front too. Nah, we'll go with this. All right, this will be fine. All right, so we're doing a cast iron inline 5, and I want to try and stay within, like, below the 2000 cc range. So I do want to turbocharge it though, so I need to kind of factor in that. So they're classified B9, B10, B11, B12. I want to try and stay in B11. So if I turbocharge it, there's going to be a 1.4 multiplier on whatever the CC rating of the engine is before turboing. So I think that if I keep it, or if I get it, I need to get it just about 1400. Right there. Perfect. So now once I turbo it, it should be around the mid to high 1900. So that should be okay. All right, and then we'll make aluminum. All right, cool. All right, I'm either on track to make a good Group B rally, or I am already absolutely screwed. All right, we're gonna go with forged steel. Lightweight forged is probably pretty good. And then I want to get a decent amount of RPM. So I'm thinking maybe forged, but yeah, I'll go forged, and then that stuff's all fine. Okay, cool. So I'll come back to this once I get the turbo in there. Definitely a ball bearing in this guy. Per cylinder, we'll do a race intake. Yeah, this guy's gonna probably run on the best stuff I can give it. All right, so short cast, single, no valves, catalytic converter. I'll do a two-way, none baffled. Okay, that's a really weird. That's a sharp change. I'm so like concerned about how this is gonna go, because I'm genuinely trying to make a decent car within the confines of these specs. I know that by admitting that I am genuinely trying my ass off right now, I am just opening myself up to the purest amounts of ridicule, which I guess is fine. Like, it's not like I think that I'm a legend at this. Okay, I'd appreciate a little less curbo. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, there's not a whole lot down here in the power band, but I don't know. We can get a few more RPM out of that. Yeah, that's whiplash. The engine's base full. I don't really care about service costs. This thing isn't gonna be exactly meant for the street. Well, I mean, at least 200 of them will be. Wink, wink. Turbine's not liking that. Okay. And it just occurred to me that I didn't adjust the exhaust at all. I totally forgot to do that. Okay, well now we can play with this more. All right, now we're up to 185. I like that. Turbine's pretty unhappy, which is okay, because if I take it down a little bit, it gets more power. How did that get up there all the way? Okay, that's better. 165, 190, and where's that now? 83, okay, it got worse. I'm just gonna maybe not care about that. So we get 206, and now it's back up to 8.86, so yeah, it's okay. Oh, I love that. You can just clearly hear that whistle. Right there. Oh, that whistle. 244. All right, I'm liking this. And this is that's about the highest it's gonna get with the exhaust. Nope, we can get to 250. Oh, this is wonderful. I like it. Don't love that so much. But yeah, no, I like this. This is really working. And this looks a lot better than I thought it was going to in the picture too. Oh, what the heck is that? That's awesome. That's definitely staying. Bumper. What else can we do up here? We got fenders. We'll get a little bit of flaring in there. What colors have we had this season so far? We've had green, yellow, and blue. All right, so I was stuck between yellow and blue for this car, so I guess I'll do purple. Maybe I'll just throw a different paint on there entirely. I don't know. What would be another good option? I mean, that's nice, but like that doesn't look like something that would be stock. I mean, that's a blue that's very different than the Deluxe Box has, so we'll go with this. I like that pretty good. As far as the design of this thing goes, I want to blend my two favorite car manufacturers. And I'm not gonna say what those are, but I think it'll be pretty clear. And I'm doing this from memory. I don't know how this is gonna look when it's done. This isn't gonna be the cleanest thing. There's not much I can do about those edges down there. So we're just gonna have to cope, I guess. Shit, what is next? I think it's like, actually, you know what? This is gonna be a blend of my favorite car manufacturers, which means, so if we start with this, then we need to make it this way. Wait, is that the right way? No, that's the opposite way. No. I should know this. I mean, it never hurts to check. Let's go. Yeah, so we need to make this a little bit thicker, and then we need to rotate it this way. Yeah. I don't know why I'm putting so much detail into this thing right now, but like, I feel like this right here is gonna be a good car. It's gonna be a really good one. And yeah, black in the center. This is coming together. I like how you can barely see this. This is exactly what I wanted. This is a difficult environment to try and work in. That W looks a little smaller. Let's see if we can remedy that. But you'll never figure out what this was inspired by, or what my two favorite brands are. All right, next. I'm gonna try and just go off experience with this one. These remind me of something that I used to have to replace regularly. That's a bit too much. Okay, bring it in, guys. Actually, this is really starting to look like something. All right, I might want to switch this up a little bit, just to kill some of this space in here. What if we did? I know, I can just feel like there was just a moment where everyone was like, oh wow, it's actually kind of looks okay. I can't believe this is happening. And then this happens, and I can just kind of feel, you know, like just an overwhelming sense of, that's actually not bad. I mean, it does look a little odd. You know what? Nah, I'm over-engineering this. Just say that there was a whole assembly right there. But for the rally car, they were dismantled and the holes were covered up by this as a weight reduction measure because we have all these lights now anyway. My primary goal here is to make something that doesn't look, you know, incredibly intimidating. I don't like how there's literally no taillight that curves around here. Tell you one thing that can be done about the front though that I just totally forgot about. I wanted to put a sport lip on the front. You know, the edge is a little messy, but that is clean. All right, the more I look at this, it's those right there. I liked them, they're not working for me right now. So let's see if we can get something else in there that has a similar kind of look to it, but will pull the car together a little bit better. I wonder if something that'll pull the car a bit better together, and then I go for the only taillight that will have the exact same problem. What is it with this? Like, it's this right here. This like just awkward, just freakish line right there. Like, there's nothing I can change about that, is there? Yeah, there's something I can change. Is it bad that I don't absolutely hate this? But I think I'm gonna take a little piece like this, and I think I did this with the Pilgrim as well, actually. I wanna shrink it really far. Then I wanna grab it and tear it around this edge like this. It's just that there's a little bit of taillight coverage on that side. Wing. It's gotta have a giant wing. Maybe a whale tail. I've always been trying. I've been wanting to put like a whale tail on something forever, but there just never seems to be an opportunity that works. I don't know if this is an opportunity or not. Okay, this is interesting. I am quite a fan of that. What does that look like with a whale tail? Like, I like it, but at the same time, I can't help. I can't kick this feeling that it's just too much. That is fine. This is fine the way it is. Get some mirrors on here, and then I think we are good. All right. Okay, that's gonna do it, I think, design-wise. Let's move on before I get too sucked into this even further. Okay, so obviously we're gonna need all-wheel drive, and obviously that's gonna need to brake everything. Manual, 5-speed. All right, now tire width. Okay, let's take a look at this. So the maximum tire width combination we can have per side is 20 inches. So let me just get out a inches to millimeter conversion. So if we can do 20 inches, I think that's what I said. Yeah, so we can do 20 inches, so we can do about 254 on each side, on front and back, or we can stagger them a little bit. So we can do 254, so I think 245 and 255. I don't think the rules have anything about diameter, at least not on what I am looking at. In that case, let's widen these guys up. Brakes, we'll do vented discs, front and rear. We'll try one piston. If we need more power, we'll move it up. We'll put an off-road skid tray. Don't think we need to worry about that. No seats in the back, 2 up front. Basic interior, no entertainment. Yeah, we'll give it hydraulic power steering. It's the 80s, so we'll go to advanced 80s because I'm pretty sure that was kind of a requirement around the time. I know that there's safety requirements in Group B. I'm not entirely sure what they were. Because the page saying what they are links me to about a 50-page document, and I don't really feel like reading that, so we're just gonna assume that advanced 80s covers it. I think we'll do standard springs just because that's a decent balance, I feel. We'll go with gas monotube. All right. Because I don't want to say off-road because I feel like it's gonna go for a full off-road. So maybe a utility. What's its problem? Brake force is low, front dampers are hard, tires are wide. Okay. And then it's convinced that the tire width is too high. So to appease it, I will do 245 and 240. Still doesn't like that. All right, we'll do 235 and 225. Still doesn't like that. Rear tires are too wide. Well, you know what? I would like the rear tires to be like that. We're already compromising, so just be happy. Try and tracing rear grip. Well, what's wrong with it now? Okay, what else did it want? It was gonna do brake force, and then I wanna go and mess with the gearing. Let's, there we go, 136, let's do that. Oh my god, it's so convinced with wheel spin, but like, that's kind of ridiculous. So 132, that's actually fine. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, hopefully that's okay. I have no idea how this is gonna go. This could be good or this could be absolutely horrifyingly bad. Guess we'll find out. Alright, I'm gonna export this and I will see you guys over in Beam. Alright, so I figured there is really no better place to test a rally car than a dirt circuit. As you can see, we've invited many fans out here today, and they're all pretty ecstatic. They're all definitely real people. So this is a different day than I made the build phase of this episode. So coming back to it, I wanted to make a couple changes before we actually went to the test. So I'm just gonna kind of overview those real quick. Most of it had to do with the gearing. I felt like the first gear was just way too long. So the rally model is now limited to what I think I put 110, but its acceleration is better. And when I say better, and you see how it accelerates now, just imagine how it accelerated before. I also wanted to make a street production version as well. So this is the UrbanSport as opposed to its rally counterpart, the RallySport. So as you can see, it has entirely different tires and wheels. There were a couple cosmetic changes made, such as the spoiler is different. So this one has the full headlight unit, unlike the rally version, no rally lights, and a different front and rear bumper. Another interesting thing is that I completely tweaked the engine around for the road version. So it puts out about 190 horsepower, but it gets better fuel efficiency. Not much, it gets like 11, I think. But it also has all the seats in there and a luxury interior, and it's got a different tuning on the suspension to make it more suited for street use. But anyway, without further ado, let's give this guy a test. So one thing I also was considering for these two cars is, so we had two different versions of the Diplomat last season, and I felt like I was wasting the GT by only letting the police Diplomat compete. So both versions of this car are going to be allowed to compete, and which one competes will be decided based on what the actual event is. So it may actually get some decent advantages in certain situations. That being said, before we drive it, I mean, it could still absolutely be a piece of crap, who knows? But alright, let's see how it handles. Okay, actually, yeah, okay, that is much better. That transmission change was totally worth it. So it's still a 5-speed manual, but the first gear is now substantially shorter. It does understeer a bit, as all of my cars seem to. I mean, it also could be the dirt to a point, but I mean, I'm probably going to be sliding it around for the most part, so I don't even think I'm going to notice it if I just get a little handbrake in these corners. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a little... I'll have to take it on the asphalt as well, just kind of see, you know, how it actually feels without the terrain affecting it, but first impressions feel pretty good. The engine's decently responsive, and I don't know, I feel like this is possibly the best looking car I've made. Possibly just because it kind of looks normal. I mean, it handles itself pretty well. I'll be curious to see how it handles in other terrains as well. Like, I want to get it onto a snow map before we do a lap, just so I can kind of see how it controls and behaves. But it definitely is better than I was expecting it to be. Although, the expectations for how my cars handle at this point are pretty dang low. Well, in classic Group B style, we almost killed a couple people there. Definitely handling some of this bumpy terrain pretty well. That was a mess. The one thing that feels a bit sad to me, though, is that nothing about it feels overwhelmingly special. It just kind of feels like it does exist. Well, that was lovely. Alright, so let's see how it does in the snow and with all 4 wheels back on the car. Like, I mean, it's definitely not the best, and it would probably still get absolutely destroyed by a Quattro, but like, I think it's pretty good. And I mean, like, I don't know, in my defense, this is like the first car that I've made with legitimate, you know, requirements and specifications. So I was pretty concerned about being able to meet those and actually get something semi-decent, and I think I did that. Emphasis on semi-decent. Yeah. Alright, so here we are back at Trial Mountain. As you can see, it is a very foggy, windy day, but that's okay because with its lights on, you literally can't even see it. I'm expecting a solid time. I think this is gonna, believe it or not, this is gonna do better than the Deluxe box. So we'll do a lap in both the RallySport model and the UrbanSport model. So I'm not going to show the lap for the RallySport just because that's going to take a lot of time, but I will have its time listed in the rankings at the end of the video. But without further ado, let's see how it does around the track. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Just gotta wait for that turbo to kick in, and this thing's a rocket. Okay, so you need to kind of be a little bit reserved with this car, I think. Also gotta remember it doesn't have ABS. That's something I should probably remember. You can see some tire marks there from my test lap. You can see more tire marks here from my test lap. So we need to brake a lot earlier, and there's a lot of understeer when the ground isn't slipping and sliding with the car. Yeah, this thing is not super well suited for road. It's almost like it has a rally suspension and off-road tires or something ridiculous like that. Alright, so we're easily hitting top speed here. Okay, yeah, we'll just lock the brakes up, I don't care. So generally, it seems like you can kind of handle the understeer, but it's just literally no acceleration while you're turning in this car. Like, a lot of cars, I mean, I find you can kind of get away with it, but this is not one of them. See, that's what happens when you try and accelerate through a corner. Alright, let's go wide. Coast through here. No more. Okay, and then get on the gas, go. Man, if this thing does worse than the Deluxe box, I don't know whether to blame my engineering or my driving, because they both were kind of off today. Uh-oh. I mean, it still could have been worse. God, that was atrocious. And stop. Alright, so I said I wasn't going to show this lap, but, I mean, yeah, it can't be any worse than the last one. Probably won't show as much from this lap, but if there's any interesting corners or anything kind of weird that happens, yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. There we get that turbo again. See, it's weird. This one feels like it would be the more sensible, well-mannered car, but it is absolutely not. This thing just wants to tweak out everywhere. It's straight up hugging everything. Uh-oh. It was hugging until I got too aggressive, thinking that it would continue to hug. Okay, attempt number 2. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's not put so much confidence in this car this time. Alright, I think we can just floor it through there. That should be... Nope. The slightest bit of steering, and this thing is just... gone. I'm so focused on this thing right now. I have, like, absolutely no faith in this car. Okay, alright. That was really bad. This does not mean to lock the brakes right there. The rear, okay, good. We cut that nice and tight, and we didn't lose the rear end. Now let's just open her up and let her run. Every second, I can just feel it just asking. It's gonna be really sad if the Rally Sport has a better lap time. I mean, if the Auto Olympics has any drifting events, this thing's got a good shot. Okay, let's cut in. Oh, that was actually pretty nice. All right, so that felt pretty decent. All right, and stop. The Rally Sport completed our track in 2 minutes and 32.32 seconds. So that puts it just about in between the Wallaby and the Deluxe box. So not a bad time by any means. I mean, especially considering that thing is completely designed for off-road purposes. That is not a bad showing on-road. However, our little urban sport right here is kind of terrifying. Not only did this thing handle very questionably and very unpredictably, it was very inconsistent. Actually, it was consistent with its inconsistencies. It liked to hug until it felt like it wanted to drift, and then it would just continually ask to drift until it started hugging again. But anyway, so the Wallaby had a 209. The Urban Sport did it in a 218. Now, yeah, 9 seconds is quite a bit of time, especially when you're talking about, you know, cars and lap times. That's a big number, but so is the horsepower gap. This thing's rocking 190 horsepower with a luxury interior, 4 seats. And this model, I think actually, yeah, no, this model is rear-wheel drive, I believe. Yep, this thing's rear-wheel drive. All I'm saying is, yeah, 9 seconds is a long time in car terms, but at the same time, the Wallaby has what, like 600-700 horsepower? This thing has 190 and got within 9 seconds. Like that's pretty impressive to me. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, let me know down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and don't miss any more of me failing to build cars. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Drift! Yes, that was a drift.